What's up, you pencil neck geeks? Welcome to the world-famous Comedy Store. This is the Store Horsemen podcast. This is the voice of the Darkitect speaking. To my left, the thirsty, fully caffeinated, woken Matt Edgar. What's up, dude?
Wide awake.
You sounded.
Are we on, I know we were just talking about this, but
Are we on Facebook Live? Yes.
Yeah. Hey, everybody at home, Facebook Live. And everybody listening on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your iTunes.
Your eyes?
I feel like people only get their iTunes from iTunes.
Not me, dude.
We'll talk about that's a different podcast. You heard him there. You see him if you're on the Facebook Live.
Yeah, it's me.
The jabroni Josh Martin. What's up?
Nothing much. We have a lot of wrestling talk. A lot of shit happened within the past week.
Which is good that Eddie, Johnny, and Tony aren't here because there'd just be too much words to fit into an hour of podcasting.
I always like it when they're not here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Usually most people just like it when I'm not here.
Generally.
Well, that too, but...
Generally. Where do we begin, man? There was, again...
I say we begin with AEW.
Yeah. Big weekend of wrestling. Not only was it was AEW's All Out pay-per-view. It was NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. It was some Raw and SmackDown. And I feel like there was some other shit, too, that went down. Why can't I think?
Well, some stuff, UK stuff.
I said that.
Oh.
All right.
Today I'm not listening,
Not
guys.
fully woken.
Not listening to anything at all.
But yeah, we'll start with AEW, All Elite Wrestling's, what is this, their third pay-per-view, fourth pay-per-view? Well, two were free.
Yeah.
So do we
second
count
official
those?
pay-per-view.
Yeah. After Fight for the Fallen and Fyter Fest and, of course, All In last year, it was in the same building as All In was last year at Sears Center in Chicago. You guys...
Oh, yeah. All In was in Chicago.
That's correct.
I forgot that, yeah.
Because that's where Pro Wrestling Tees is. That's where, like, a lot of their home base is. A lot of fans there. What did you guys think of All Out?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't watch it in real time, and I was, whenever... There's just so many marks out there.
Yeah.
So you can't even, look on your Twitter or Facebook, and all I see is people shitting on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, fuck, are they dropping the ball already? And then I watched it, and I don't know what the problem is. I was entertained. Sure, there's some things, but it's like a wrestling show. It's not perfect. I fucking really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My favorite match would have to have been, I really liked Omega Pac. I like that finish. Kind of came out of nowhere. I started to think that Omega or Pac would go over. Towards the end, really. I was like, dude, Omega's going to come back and turn around. They just told a really good story that was compelling.
We'll get it deeper into the card for sure. What were your overall thoughts, though, Josh?
What I watched, some of it was great.
Yeah.
Some of it was just mediocre.
Yeah.
And the Battle Royale was awful. Oh, my God.
That seems to be...
Like, the men's Battle Royal at Double or Nothing wasn't too bad. For what it is, for the gimmick match it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
The women's were unbearable.
Yeah.
It was, fucking awful.
I mean, it seems like...
And they let a man win it. It's a goddamn man.
Jesus Christ, I ain't touching that one at all. But it seems like if you took an average of the kind of reviews that AEW shows get, it's like anything with Omega and the Young Bucks and Cody, people dig. Anything with the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and now they have a name now, the Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
And it seems like almost everything else people have severely mixed reviews about.
Sure.
It's like the undercard people don't seem that into, whether it be, what Sonny Kiss does or Angelico and Jack Evans or fucking,
well, yeah,
the
all
Best
these
Friends,
that's
the
because
Dark
all these
Order.
Yeah, because all these marks have nothing else to live for.
Well, but also
whatever, dude. It's wrestling. There's so many other things. Who can how many shows has AEW thrown now?
They've done. This is their fourth show, fourth pay-per-view show.
Right.
Sure, but it's I mean, you present something to
Remember
the world.
the fourth episode of Store Horsemen? Believe it or not, it sounded like shit. We were probably still outside recording.
Probably.
These things take time to evolve, develop. It's no show you ever watched that was the first time they did it.
Totally. But again, if you present something to the world and you have all this money behind you and everybody's rooting for you, I mean, you open yourself up to criticism.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, me watching it, I'm like, I kind of felt the same way. I feel like they're kind of top heavy in AEW. Weird decision not to have Dustin Rhodes on this card. And it's just like, it's still something. It's just something not there yet. You know what I mean? And I get it. It's their fourth show. They got TV coming up in October, but it was just like, I don't know if the mainstream is going to be as into this as we may think. That's what I kept thinking while watching it.
I don't know. I think
because
they will
the
be.
mark in me, I'm like, obviously, I love just watching Omega matches. I love, what I'm saying, Cody Rhodes. I love the Bucks and Lucha Brothers.
And even the thought of watching Omega on TV.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not even on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Totally strange. But it's like, I'm into it because I'm into it. I know them. You know what I mean? I know who those people are. And that's why, like, without question, Jericho had to be the first champion, because if you debut on television with Hangman Page as your champ, whether or not you rode in with a horse or not, you know what I mean? Like, no one knows who the fuck that is, and it just looks second rate. You know what I mean?
Also, riding in on a horse is way weak compared to riding to the ring in like a lowrider.
Well, they don't
a beer truck.
They don't have that kind of budget yet.
A milk truck. There's better rides to the ring than a horse.
Let them make some money.
A motorcycle.
We'll get there. They'll get
a lift.
Yeah.
So he gets dropped off. It'd be funny if like they're in a lift line. There's like other people in there. Like
they should bring back the Andre the Giant tiny ring that brought him to the ring. But look, fuck. We go over the show as a whole. Like you said, Nyla Rose won the women's world title. Fucking battle royal.
I'm surprised they're giving the women's title to someone besides Brandy Rhodes.
Well,
Brandy isn't in that picture. I'm surprised.
Well, she's not that great a wrestler. I mean, she serves her purpose as like this authority figure who's not that good, but has the backup of Awesome Kong. You know what I mean?
But when
it's a good character
when I say
up.
Brandy Rose, I mean Awesome Kong and Brandy Rose kind of having the title together. You know, so the two of them. And the problem with Nyla Rose winning is that now she will definitely be the first champion, because they want to go in this progressive route of, this is the first trans champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think they're going to do very early on.
Maybe. Well,
hey,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to go back to your point about if AEW worked for the mainstream. So when you say mainstream, you mean people that aren't wrestling fans that just turn it on randomly?
Casual,
we've all kind of started that way, right?
Casual wrestling
casual
fans.
All right, look at. So if you were to just turn it on WWE, that's interesting if you're not a wrestling fan. But it also looks like, it's great shit. But here's the thing. The style for AEW, that fast-paced thing with all the kicks and the flippity-floppity and everything that Randy Orton hates.
Yeah.
That shit, this is the ADHD era. Do you understand? That stuff grabs people quicker than the slower storytelling of WWE, the punches, AEW in-ring is way more exciting than WWE in-ring.
I would argue that's the case for the wrestlers you care about in AEW. Like, I still could give a fuck about the Dark Order right now. I don't care at all.
Most of the tag team division in AEW, I don't give a fuck about. Even Young Bucks, I don't really give a fuck. I've never been a Young Buck fan.
Right.
So I don't care about fuck, but I like the Lucha Brothers, and I like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Right.
Besides the two of them,
but see, that's
I'm
what I mean.
not a big fan of the tag
there's
team
something
division.
really fun about the Jurassic Express. The Bucks are super athletic. I mean, and they're taking unbelievable death-defying chances.
I guess we'll talk about that match later.
We go right into it. I mean,
that ladder match was fucking bananas.
This dude took a fucking Canadian destroyer through a table. Okay, insanity.
There's a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you see that slow motion shot of that, like a thing of beauty
for sure.
I mean, God, he was inches away from breaking his shit.
And so was Nick Jackson when he gets pushed off the ladder, supposed to be on 2 tables. His foot catches the top rope, and he goes rocketing through the first table. Yeah. Doesn't even really get to the second one. That was hella scary.
Yeah,
it's just like
that was like I started to sweat.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, you guys you can't take chances like that on a regular basis on a television show. You already had Moxley hurt. You know what I mean? And granted, it wasn't from a match.
Yeah.
But fucking Ray Phoenix was hurt. You know what I mean? Going into that match. It's just like
I think they'll tone it down though. I mean, I don't think they're going to keep this kind of pace when it's weekly. This is still, they're still proving themselves. They're still trying to be the big wrestling show.
And they're not going to keep the pace, and I think they'll tone down, especially the blood.
Yeah.
I think they kind of have to tone down the blood a lot. But I just don't. I see certain stars. I see stars in certain people.
Yeah.
But I don't know how all of this will come together on the TV show.
Right.
I want it to go together. By the way, announce team a million times better.
Oh yeah.
With that Golden Boy guy, he's fucking great.
Yeah.
He's a good, just down to earth guy.
He held it together. He definitely
much better than the third person that was on All Out, which was Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing
for sure. And then apparently Tony Schiavone is going to be the third guy on TV. It's going to be JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur, and Golden Boy is going to do like the backstage stuff, supposedly. But we'll see.
I like Golden Boy as an announcer. He was really fucking good. I didn't know anything about him before that. And when I watch him, I'm like, oh, this guy fucking knows what he's talking about.
Totally.
He's a good-looking dude. He's not fucking David or Tonga or whatever.
There's no Tongas on that table.
Definitely not.
How do you feel about JR's work the other night?
Better. What I love about JR is that he's always talking to the bookers. And then with a lot of the spots, he's like, well, that's a lot of suicide dives we've seen tonight. You know what I mean? He's always doing stuff like that, and I love that he is.
Does he do it during Young Buck matches about super kicks?
But he's telling them, like, stop doing the same spots over and over again. It loses its effect. It's the law of diminishing returns. It's just like the more you do something, the less impact it has. And if every match has a dive, then it doesn't matter when dives happen. You know what I mean? But he's always talking about that. Like, it's so, I love it. If you go back and listen to JR's commentary, you can pick out when you see he's openly criticizing how they've booked the matches. And that's my favorite part of JR these days.
I just like his voice.
I'm just going back. I know I said it was a bad match. I'm surprised that Dr. Britt Baker didn't win that battle royal. I thought she I thought she would be the first champion. She seemed like she would have that star power because I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah, that
she would be a great first.
Well, they're going. AEW. Well, she tweeted after Jericho tweeted about his title being robbed. She wrote, "So was mine." But it seems like they're taking the road less traveled and the obvious choices for like first champion and stuff. They're going the other way. Like Britt Baker obviously probably should be the first champion, but it's like, no, we're not going to give it to Britt Baker. Omega, I'm sure most people thought he'd be the first champion, if not Jericho, and they're going the complete opposite direction and putting him on a losing streak, which I think is brilliant booking for Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And the commentators are selling it like he seemed to like not be himself since signing to AEW. And what's going on with Kenny and when is he going to get back on track? And even how Kenny's wrestling, like he's showboating more and like playing to the crowd. He's not like engaged as much.
Right. Well, even the storytelling on the commentary is like, like he's just trying to get his confidence back.
Right.
Like they're telling the same story that, that Omega is in the ring.
Totally. And then he gets fucking put to sleep by Pac.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, I thought Pac would reverse the one-wing angel some kind of way. Some of the reversals he was doing and landing on his feet didn't seem like physically possible.
How about that one-legged 450?
Yeah, like what the fuck are we talking about here? Like it's when his head went straight to the mat, I was like, oh, that looks devastating. But then he flips and lands on his feet. the dude is unbelievably athletic.
Yeah.
They never do stuff like that in WWE, really.
No, that's what I'm saying though, is that AEW does, and when you just fucking, this millennial or younger, and you can't even focus on anything longer than a minute, like you tune on, dude. If you're channel surfing, AEW's on, and there's something in the ring, within a minute there's gonna be some spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious.
And look, I'm not. This isn't me. Look, I like both. I like the storytelling, and every now and then I can go for a spotty match, But if they're consistently more spotty, I think today's day and age that grabs people that aren't such wrestling fans' attention quicker.
Well, we just talked, though, about the law of diminishing returns. How much of it can you see to where it's like then you want them to up the ante more and more and more, and there's only so far you can go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And, that's my problem with, the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of the Young Bucks because every time I see them, it's just super kicks. Every fucking time you can go any time in a Young Bucks match, and there's a good chance you're about to see a super kick within a minute.
For sure, I mean that's part of the gimmick, though.
I know it's part of the gimmick, but if they're on TV and that's all you see them do, it's like
yeah. But I think people would like that.
I'm not saying they won't, but for how long is my thing. As a longevity thing, they want this promotion to last. You know.
What do you mean longevity? Like these guys are going to get hurt, or
not that they're going to get hurt necessarily, maybe. But also, like I said, the more you do something, the less interesting it becomes because you've seen it. Mm-hmm. The way that WWE works is they learned that a long time ago. So it's we're not going to just do spot after spot after spot after spot because you got to save that for big moments, for big events. But if that's what AEW just is.
Yeah, but don't you think there's somewhere, I mean, hopefully AEW realizes that they could be in the middle of that. They don't have to only be PWG spotty.
But that's why, have you noticed that most of the really glowing reviews have been for Cody Rhodes matches at AEW?
Yeah, sure.
Because he's doing the slow down.
Yeah, it's way more WWE.
Storytelling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we got an Arn Anderson fucking spine buster. God
there's also
damn it.
guys there's also even Hangman Page is kind of WWE style. There's a good balance of. I'm just saying for the look at and. I can only compare. From my experience, because when I'm a kid and I'm channel surfing and WCW, Nitro's on, and I see Mysterio doing fucking 450s, off the top rope down to the floor on Eddie Guerrero, and that kind of stuff. At that age, I didn't care about the Hulk Hogan, the leg drops or the body slams. I wanted to see that grabbed me.
Sure, but at the time, American audiences had never seen that kind of wrestling before. You know what I mean? Lucha Libre wasn't popular in the United States.
Right.
You have, if you want to see wrestling like that, you could watch 205 Live, but people don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't.
But then look at NXT. Yeah. NXT is the perfect balance of all of it.
Totally.
And then and people are rabid about it. AEW's got to find that balance. Like Josh was saying, when they figure out how to make it all coalesce on TV, they'll succeed. Mm-hmm. And
because that's the real. Yeah. That's what the real battle is. The real battle isn't AEW
the real
versus
battle.
Look at that too.
The real battle.
Shout out to Real Battle.
Yeah. The real battle is not between AEW and WWE.
Yeah.
The real battle is AEW versus NXT.
Certainly.
Is what the actual war, quote unquote war, will be. Mm-hmm. And NXT does it very well, and they have a lot of practice doing live shows.
Yeah.
Compared to fucking
absolutely. I mean that AEW, the Wednesday Night War is where it's going to be at coming up in October for sure. Because some you definitely can't do on TV. This goddamn Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin, Joey Janela match. Did you watch that?
I'm liking Darby Allin, guys. He's kind of a Jeff Hardy
for sure, but. First of all,
without much psychology, though,
Joey Janela took just a leap off the top rope onto the ground, unprotected, didn't try to stop himself, just went crashing into the floor. That was horrible. I don't remember which one it was because they look like they could be brothers, Darby Allin or Jimmy Havoc, but one of them took thumbtacks in his mouth, and then they taped his mouth shut.
Yeah.
It was just
There's also the staple gun, and that was cool with the Joe Janela chair flip.
Yeah.
And they land, and Joe Janela just smiling.
Yeah.
And he goes and fucking goes with the staple
That was great.
gun.
The Cracker Barrel took a lot of bumps.
So
there was nothing in the barrel.
There's nothing in the barrel.
But remember in Double or Nothing, that barrel seemed so heavy to get out the ring, and then he picks it up on top of the fucking ropes. I'm like, I don't know if that's the same barrel or not.
It's got to be a different barrel.
It must be an empty barrel now.
For sure. What were you going to say?
Darby Allin and was that Priscilla Kelly? They're a real life thing?
Yeah, I think so.
That is just, I want to watch that porn.
Those are your kind of people. Like,
I mean, that is just
skinny, maybe.
They're just
probably a little dirty.
Honestly, they're a cute couple.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like just as fucked up, you know? They're like, I want to see them get together.
Like all the girls on Manson's Ranch and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood were like your type.
Yeah. But that's different. That's not that she doesn't fall under that if that's what you're talking about.
I guess.
That's because they all like to sleep outdoors and look at the moon.
100%.
While on drugs.
I got a semi now. What kind of moon is it?
A semi truck erection?
And then of course Jericho is your first ever
full moon, full boner.
AEW World Champion. But he got his belt stolen outside of a fucking Longhorn Steakhouse.
I first I thought this entire thing was
I
just
thought it was a work.
100%. But I like Cody's response is like he's like oh I prefer like Texas Roadhouse or Outback Steakhouse or something.
Yeah, I mean they all had a very whimsical attitude towards it, which was great to see. Like I could only imagine what would happen if you lose. Well, they probably got 800 spare belts in WWE, but could you imagine in the 80s if Hulk Hogan like lost the title?
You know, it's like if somebody really did steal it, like somebody had it, like that's kind of scary to have. You know what I mean? Like, who can you actually show? Who can you trust? You know, it's like
the endless memes of like R-Truth.
You can't even show. That's hilarious.
We're just fantastic.
You can't even show your own girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, if you break up, you're fucked. She has that on you.
It would be funny to steal it and just go all the way to Stamford, Connecticut, just to give the Vince McMahon himself.
There was that. There was all the pictures, like of like Triple H with NXT belts, but it's like the AEW belts photoshopped in. It was a bunch. It was a great sort of minefield for memes for a couple days, but they found it. Jericho's got it back.
So we don't know anything that happened though.
They haven't given any details.
See, that gotta know, man. Because how do you just
Don't know.
I feel like Jericho doesn't remember that he brought it into the steakhouse.
Yeah. He didn't. I think it was stolen out of his car.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Question, do you just imagine him like when you go to a restaurant, you put your jacket on the back of the chair, and then you forget your jacket?
Yeah.
That's what you think he
the
did
title
with the belt.
belt.
He just put the belt on the back of the chair, and then he'd like just fucking laugh.
He's like driving like, oh shit! Turn around.
That happened to me in my neck pillow in Alabama over the weekend. So look, overall, I think it was a good show. I think AEW is in an interesting place, but I think they really got to. I think we said it 1,000 times. I even hate bringing it up, but they got to do what they got to do to get CM Punk, right? He had a great time, according to him, at StarCast. He had the live mic interview. The biggest pop was when he completely freaked out when he learned that you could ask for time off in WWE now. Like he couldn't wrap his head around it. It took him 6 minutes to like compose himself of just like what?
He's like,
wait, what do you say?
Is this CM Punk?
Yeah. But
why didn't you laugh at that, Josh?
Oh, CM Punk.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The MTV show.
Yeah.
But he
I didn't get that.
He answered a lot of fan questions. He said he's much happier now that he's away from wrestling. That it's it's not completely off the table. And most interestingly,
it's gonna be through the table.
He was asked, what would have to happen for you to go back to WWE? And his answer was interesting. Considering that you're at StarCast, they always say it's not connected to AEW. It's obviously connected to AEW. But he says, you know what? It's like Bret Hart was talking about with the Montreal screw job and how it's just harboring bad feelings towards them is a negativity you don't need in your life. And so he's kind of let it go finally after all this time. And if they called him with a real offer, he wouldn't not talk to him. It's not to the point where where someone would hit him up, he would just ignore the call, you know what I mean, or whatever.
It's not like Enzo right now with WWE.
Yeah, I know. But like he said, he would definitely have the conversation. Obviously, some things would have to change. Obviously, he'd need more time to spend with his wife, and because he said the number one thing he likes more now from being a wrestler is that he gets to sleep in his own bed.
Oh, he likes to go to sleep?
Yes, he likes the GTS.
Where the fuck are you today, Josh?
He doesn't know what's going on.
That's his finisher.
Yes, you son of a bitch. But I thought that was super interesting because remember when he got announced for StarCast and people started to do the speculation like they always do, like, oh, so CM Punk's about to sign with AEW. Yeah. Remember what Cody Rhodes said about it?
Something about how
we'd love to have him.
Doors always.
I wouldn't be surprised if he re-signed with WWE.
Oh,
remember he said that.
I remember that. That's insane.
You can Google it. He said that verbatim, and it's like,
where do I go to Google that?
Just what I just said. Google that. Just in Cody Rhodes.
Google.com.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was. I always thought that like stayed with me, and then the fact that he was very candid about not having bad feelings, and he said they need better doctors, of course. And then he even jokingly was like, you know what, I'd probably resign just to ask for time off. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, man. It'd be super... Can you imagine that scenario? Do you think he'd really sign back with WWE before he would go to AEW? What do you think the psychology behind that would be if you're CM Punk?
Well, okay, so now I got to think. I don't. First of all, we're trying to pretend like we have any idea what CM Punk thinks.
But if you're the most sought after free agent in wrestling, and you have an option of signing with this brand new company that's going to treat you like a king, or going back to where you were kind of a king, but they never fully treated you that way. But you'd be making probably way more than you ever would in AEW.
Probably 20 times more money.
At this point.
I'd go to UFC again. I think he has one more in him.
One more serious beating that he can take.
Come on, third time's a charm, CM.
CM.
Can I call you CM?
Come on. Hey, Chick Mac.
No, you know what? The artist in me is like, I'd go to AEW and see what that's like. I think he did the WWE thing. It's not like he's that old, It's like he can't do both.
This is my issue: is that WWE wasn't all bad for CM Punk.
Right.
There was something that was very bad, but it wasn't all fucking bad. And I think he still remembers that. Like I think he remembers, and I think not even including the money, the amount of people popping, I think would be bigger in WWE than AEW. Yeah, because the arenas are just bigger. Yeah, they're bigger venues. They're more people.
Obviously, CM Punk doesn't care about that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he had a lot of fun with the fans at StarCast.
If he really cared about having fun with the fans, he would have done something.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, him coming out at WrestleMania is a much bigger pop,
and I think
than coming out at Double or Nothing.
I think
or All Out.
That's to me, that's the point. I think CM Punk is not Jericho. Jericho is much more like, well, what's the cool, hip thing to do? You know what I mean? That's Jericho. I think Punk remember Punk's whole thing was like, I need to be treated like I'm the fucking biggest star in the company. I need to be main eventing. I need to be main eventing WrestleMania. I need to, you know what I mean? I need to be the big time guy. I need to be on the posters. I don't think in his mind, AEW's the big time. You know what I'm saying? I think that he looks at AEW the way Vince McMahon does, where it's like, well, that's cute, but that's not us. You know what I mean?
I feel like if he's going back to wrestling, going to AEW would be a demotion from what he had at WWE.
Exactly. Plus, like, there's talk of AJ Lee wanting to get back into wrestling, and, she obviously had a good career in WWE, and it's like, for their security and making more money, wouldn't it make more sense to go back to the big machine, especially now that wrestlers can ask for time off, and he is a Paul Heyman guy, and he's in charge of Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? It's like, it starts to make a lot of interesting sense if you look at it that way, you know?
So if you let's do a little bit of booking. If CM Punk goes back to WWE, how will you present him to the audience?
Ooh.
Because I got mine.
Oh, interesting. Matt, you got thoughts on this?
I would go Royal Rumble, last entrant.
Yeah. Oh.
And by the time there's only 3 people left in the ring, and he comes in and there's 4. He makes the 4th person in the ring at that point.
Interesting.
And then you have him win, and you have him main event WrestleMania immediately.
I would say he's the man who attacked Roman Reigns.
you pull the beard off, and it's just CM Punk.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you do, Matt?
We're bringing back Punk.
Yeah,
I would have him.
Something with Jeff Hardy.
No.
All right. I want
He's
him to
under the Rey
rehash.
Mysterio mask.
Jeff Hardy wants a rematch from 2008. I would do something where I don't know, man. Honestly, did you said Rumble?
Yeah, I said Rumble. Because I don't know if you want to have that major pop at WrestleMania like we had with the Hardy Boys coming back at WrestleMania.
Yeah, not at Mania. You want some build.
I think you want some build would be nice.
I might save it to the Monday after. Like that's where all the major shit goes down, and it's like you already have the audience for WrestleMania. You don't need if you're not gonna advertise Punk. It's kind of like when they surprise you with the Undertaker at WrestleMania. It's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like everyone's here already. Everyone who's gonna watch it is watching.
Plus, Mania, you want that big fight feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You get that when you book it.
Yeah,
not when the surprise thing.
No, that's why I say the Rumble.
Honestly, that's more something you do at a pay-per-view. You're kind of desperate at. Does that make sense? Yeah. If we need to pull out all the stops here. Like I feel like if it's booked, it's WrestleMania. Everything should be booked. I don't like too many entry surprises at Mania. I like the card, and I want it to play out. This is what we've been waiting for.
Right.
No bullshit.
Totally. It's just I kind of like the entire surprise in a massive venue, because the Raw and SmackDown's in that same city, but it's a different venue.
Totally.
WrestleMania was in a goddamn football field.
All right, so Punk comes out at Royal Rumble. He's like the is it 39? He's 38.
29.
Oh, it's 29.
30 men.
30, yeah. Oh, 30 men, right. So he's number 28. Okay. And he wipes them all out. It's just him in the ring. Then the countdown goes. And out comes Colt Cabana. We're finishing this lawsuit right the fuck now. Tonight.
He's wearing a pro wrestling t-shirt.
He has his lawyer with him.
Go back in the archives. We interviewed Colt Cabana in the early days of Store Horsemen.
Feels like it's been so long.
I know. That was a long time ago. But AEW wasn't the only thing going on over the weekend. Don't really need to get into NXT UK Cardiff, but go do yourself a favor. If you have not watched the main event of Walter versus Tyler Bate, motherfuck, did they have a great match.
These are two great
unbelievable
wrestlers.
Between the ropes guys. Walter moves in a way that he really shouldn't be able to. It's like watching Johnny Scotus dunk a basketball.
Honestly,
I like what the fuck.
His moveset's great. The subtlety to Walter, just standing there with his hands behind his
chin. It's the
chin, man.
Yeah.
And then he's just brutal. When he
looks he's a star, man. That's a star. It's just like Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler Bates, fucking great, man.
And then, just the clashing of styles of this big mauler, bruiser type, and Bate, who's like 22 years old or something like that, and he's just he's like Cesaro level
he's
strong. Yeah, it's like crazy how strong he is.
Those fucking trunks.
Good match, man.
Question for you: do you see some of those guys staying in NXT UK for long now that NXT's on TV?
I see.
Do you see them moving from UK to the main?
Absolutely.
NXT?
Some I'd see like
much quicker.
Pete Dunne will definitely be there.
Because for example, that Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Or Rhea Ripley. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I think we're gonna get
her makes the women's division on NXT
she's my
so
favorite.
Fucking
she's
much
my
better.
favorite, and well, it's hard. She's fucking great.
My baby's gonna come. Toni Storm.
Yeah.
She's gonna come. She's Tyler Bates' girlfriend. I didn't know that until recently.
Oh, dope.
Rhea Ripley's coming, and she already challenged.
Is Tyler Bates? Are they still doing Mustache Mountain?
Yeah. All three of them might be coming to regular NXT because they did kind of what looked like kind of a goodbye salute. Him, Pete Dunne, and what's my other guy? The third guy who's part of British Strong Style.
I forget.
Whatever, but they did like the all three hands touching.
Yeah,
like maybe
that
was like
means.
their farewell to NXT UK.
They show it on TV.
Yeah. So who knows? Because
I feel like NXT, the main roster on NXT for TV, they definitely need to go all out.
Sure.
Especially since they're competing with AEW.
Right.
No pun intended.
Well, they gotta expand to the 2 hours. If they're gonna do more live shows, like they gotta make it feel like a bigger product. And I think they are gonna cancel 205 Live and bring a bunch of those guys over. And
205 dead.
Yeah. And then it's gonna be that could be some shit if it's still Triple H running it and it's that kind of fucking roster of all the dudes who can really, really go. That could be really fun to watch. And then big personalities like Velveteen Dream put in the mix, you know what I mean?
Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole.
Baby.
The fucking the 4 Horsewomen.
Yeah. Well, the 3 because Ronda's never going to wrestle in NXT.
But that would be a huge pop if Rousey showed up on that NXT.
For sure.
It would be a crazy fucking pop.
But speaking of the Horsewomen, they were front and center this week. We got the fucking forever teased Bayley heel turn. You know
what, Bayley, after she's a heel, she looks different. She looks like...
I knew...
You knew.
Instantly that she was turning heel.
Oh, okay.
Because she was caked in makeup backstage. When they interviewed her about Sasha, as soon as she walked into frame, it was lipstick, eyeshadow. I'm like, Bayley doesn't wear that much fun. Oh, she's turning heel.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It was like
very intuitive.
Well, I like chicks. So it was like one of those.
Wait. What do you mean by that?
Like I'm into women. I'm sexually attracted to women, so I pay attention to them.
You're the dick attack.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means either. What does that mean?
I don't know.
But I noticed, like instantly, her face was like had so much makeup on. She usually doesn't. I'm like, why are they trying to make Bayley look like sexy? Like, she's gonna join Sasha. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, then that stupid question from the backstage person, like, well, do you feel overshadowed by Sasha? She's like, and then she's like, we'll see tonight who's overshadowed. It's like, oh no, she's definitely turning heel. Mm-hmm. And
over eyeshadowed,
right?
But she also had that at the end of Raw. She had that evil. She had almost like an evil smirk.
No, and she looked in that moment. I know what you're talking about. And in that moment, I saw it. She looked just like Shayna Baszler.
Yeah,
like her face. Like she That's what she looks like as a bad guy. Yeah. Like her whole.
And I liked
it might be really good. I mean, the crowd loved it, but she looked different, and it was more compelling than the Bayley buddy.
Here's the magic that they were able to pull off. Because instantly, usually when a babyface starts showing aggression in today's day and age, the crowd's into it.
A Bayley face?
Yes. Because remember, that's what got people started with Becky Lynch. When she went nuts and started beating the shit out of Charlotte.
SummerSlam.
And everyone was like, yeah, Becky. That's what started all that. And when they started beating down Natty with the chair and Becky together, the crowd was chanting for Sasha and Bayley.
Mm-hmm. Yes chants.
Then the magic trick was on SmackDown when they started beating down Charlotte, you started getting Becky chants.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's where the money is at. The Charlotte and Becky versus Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah.
Which, to me, it seems like that's where we're going. That they're gonna do kind of what they're doing with Seth and Braun, and have one of those two tandems win the fucking women's tag team titles. Then you have the Raw and SmackDown champion, versus the women's tag team champions. All 4 belts are in the mix, and then at Survivor Series, you can have a match where the winners take all.
Wait, I'm confused of what you're saying.
Bayley's the SmackDown women's champion. Becky Lynch is the Raw women's champion. Yes. If either Sasha and Bayley Or Becky and Charlotte win the women's tag team titles. Then all 4 titles are in the mix of this feud. Then you could set up a Survivor Series match where those teams go against each other. Winner takes all.
Yeah.
Because I see something very different happening.
Really? What do you see?
I see Sasha winning from Becky at Clash of Champions.
Interesting. I mean, you can still do
the women's title.
Yeah.
And then have 2 best friends each having their championship, and then Survivor Series they have to fight each other, and that begins the breakup of their friendship. But Survivor Series, and you can carry that into fucking
right. But I don't think the payoff here is gonna be. I put this question out to all the Pencil Neck Geeks out there on social media. Where does the Dark Bailey storyline go? I don't know if the payoff is gonna be Sasha Bailey. I don't think that's the payoff. I think the payoff is gonna be the tag match between the 4. And then Ronda returns, and then you have to build towards 4-on-4.
So that means she firing all the Bailey buddies?
Well, what I loved about her coming on SmackDown was it gave me Kurt Angle flashbacks. In Kurt's mind, he's a good guy, and he's a hero. Mm-hmm. And because he's being overly squeaky clean, everyone hates him.
Yeah.
And Bailey's whole speech about, I'm trying to teach kids about loyalty.
Yeah.
Sasha's my best friend.
That's
I'm
great.
not going to turn my back on my best friend, and everyone's booing her. Because it's like, you psychopath. You beat the shit out of someone with a chair, and you're trying to justify it in front of us. It's like, I like that. Like, let her play it up. Still have the buddies and smile, and you know what I mean? She's still throwing the arms out to the crowd. Like, do all the Bailey stuff, but now there's like the dark undertone to it, and it makes it way more interesting.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's the best when the heel doesn't think they're the heel. You know what I mean? That's always great stuff.
I like how you compare that to Kurt Angle. That really, how long have they been doing that trope, do you think?
I mean,
it's like Kurt Angle mastered that.
Yeah.
The overly good bad guy.
Well, because he was
the 3 eyes.
He was so great about it because he'd say stuff like, look, the average intelligence of this town is very below average. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. The way he tried to be gentle for a second.
And he just
you know what I always loved? It always kind of made me laugh when he come out and the chant, the "You suck" chants. The way he would react, like what?
Yeah.
I like how he embraced it later on when he was a commissioner or whatever. But I loved it how he'd get upset because like every time he'd come out like this glorious, like they're gonna love me, and then every time they tell me, like, why are you surprised?
That's what made it so great. So I feel like Bailey can accomplish the same thing. The buddies go up, people are booing, and she's like, "What? What's the problem?" You know what I mean? And just roll with that for a while. But what else do we have? We have more King of the Ring tournaments. On this episode, some good we're just getting good wrestling in this King of the Ring.
These matches are long. These wrestling matches are very long matches.
But
these are like pay-per-view type long matches.
But it's doing wonders to get people over who otherwise weren't getting that much attention. Look at Chad Gable. This dude, God damn, he was in the premier tag team in NXT, American Alpha. They barely gave them a run on the main roster. Then they inexplicably choose Jason Jordan to be Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. And then he's lost in the win. He teams with Bobby Roode. It seems like he's going to turn heel. He doesn't. They break up. Now his hair is short. For like 2 weeks, he was doing this weird checklist gimmick that never went anywhere. Now it was short jokes, and then he has a fucking banger with Andrade on SmackDown. And the crowd is chanting, Gable, Gable, Gable. I'm just like, the King of the Ring is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Mm-hmm. Cedric Alexander is looking like a star. Fucking Ricochet is looking like a star.
Ali looked great.
Gable's looking like a star. Andrade and people like that were already kind of established. They don't need to win. Joe, but even they're protecting Samoa Joe and by putting him in this 3-way with Ricochet and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's getting legitimate heat about, because the fans don't want to see him win so bad, it's making whoever he's going up against get loud.
And that's
cheers.
what's great. It's doing that on both sides.
Yeah.
With Elias,
yeah.
with Elias, and fucking Baron Corbin. It's actual legit heat and not just X-Pac heat.
Do you think there's a world where we got a final of Baron Corbin versus Elias?
That's a lot of pants for one match. Too many pockets in that ring. I hope not.
I think it's going to be Gable Corbin.
That'd be great.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It just feels like it feels like they
wait,
could give
did
it
I just say that would be great?
Well.
You did
no,
say
no,
that
I
would be
mean,
great.
I mean, it's great that Gable's in it. I just.
But also, dude, don't you think the King gimmick is better suited for a heel, though?
Yep.
What are the good, like, babyface kings? And also, not many babyface kings
RVD
ever won. He won King of the Ring?
No. William Regal won that one. Never mind.
Bret Hart's the first one. He was a babyface. But then that was only to set up the feud with him and Lawler.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was just bad guys from then on, basically. It was Owen Hart.
Billy Gunn.
Well, Bret Hart won the second one, too, if I'm not mistaken. But then it was like Owen Hart.
Stone Cold.
Steve Austin, who was a heel when he won it.
Sure. That was the flip.
Well, the promo, the Austin 316 promo was being blasphemous against Jake the Snake, who was a born-again Christian. You can't get much more heel than that. King Booker was a heel.
Yeah.
King Mabel was a heel. Triple H was a heel. Like, there aren't really many babyface King of the Rings. Because
Angle.
Because what babyface is gonna dress like a king and be like, worship me, I have a scepter now and a crown? It just doesn't seem like something a babyface does.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of sucks though.
And what's he gonna be, King Gable? Is that the new gimmick?
It just sucks that you're right, because they'll never be able to have like a guy be humble about it.
No,
you know what I mean?
There's no way.
That's why
you need a
that's why
guy who's a very cocky guy.
That's why you need stakes, though. That's why, like, winning King of the Ring doesn't mean you get to sit in this throne for a picture op. You know, like there should be more to it than that.
But that's what the heels always do. They always
it's like, all right, you win King.
They are the king now.
You win King of the Ring. Your prize, a new gimmick.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
That's lame.
But that's what it's been. Harley
I want
Race,
like some.
everybody.
I want some fucking.
And are you against Baron Corbin getting a new gimmick? I'm not.
Yeah,
I'll take that any day.
If it takes away the cocktail waiter outfit and he's King Corbin, I'm kind of. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm kind of into that.
You've changed.
I really have.
By the way, speaking of King of the Ring, the R-Truth thing with the set, the King of the Ring set, was fucking great. I fucking love that.
Look, man, I said it before.
He's in the twilight of his career.
He's killing it, right? It's unbelievable how well he's doing in that whole thing. Let's see. Anything else notable? Still loving Randy Orton's work with the Revival.
Someone just let us know. Edge won King of the Ring in 2000.
Was he a babyface?
Yeah,
good call, man.
He's a face.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Good call.
But
totally forgot about
but
that.
then again,
what year was that?
2000.
But see, then again, you think of Edge. When you think of Edge as a breakout, it's when he turned heel and was the rated R superstar.
Wait. When was Angle? When was there was one where it was Kurt Angle, Rikishi at the end. You sure that wasn't 2000? Was that 99?
I don't know.
I mean, these guys are
Edge?
Googling while we're talking, so I trust
All right.
them.
Yeah, you're right. No, I thought the Angle Rikishi was 2000, but this guy's got to be right. So
the other big situation from WWE this week involved our guy Roman Reigns, and look what happens when you add a little nuance into a storyline.
Mm-hmm. You
get magical results.
It's all about nuance.
By the way, you are right. It is Kurt Angle, Rikishi in 2000.
Ooh.
So when's the Edge?
I'm looking it up right now.
So we got to the point last week where it was revealed that Rowan was behind the attacks and that the weird body double was just some bullshit.
Wait, real fast. Was the King of the Ring the Edge one? I think that's the one
He's looking it up.
where it was Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon in a hardcore match.
Was that the King of the title?
No. That was a separate. That stole the show.
This
right?
is 2001. Edge beat Kurt Angle.
Oh, Edge beat Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
2001.
Okay, never mind.
There you go.
Yeah, cool.
And last week, Roman Reigns beat up Daniel Bryan, even though Daniel Bryan has held steadfast that he has had nothing to do with what Rowan has been doing. And so this week, Daniel Bryan wanted a face-to-face with Roman. He wanted his apology, and he wanted to declare that he had nothing to do with these attacks. So he's in the ring. Roman comes out to meet him. He's immediately bum rushed by Rowan, and then he's beaten down. Rowan takes the mic and says, it's so funny. Everyone thinks that Daniel is the one who told him to do it. Fuck that. No one tells me what to do. I did it because I wanted to do it, and I'm proud of what I did. Bryan gets in the ring and is like, what are you doing? This is crazy, dude. I'm your friend. Slaps him again, and Rowan puts Daniel Bryan through a table. Mm-hmm. So now it's some intrigue of, okay, wait a minute. Is Rowan acting alone, or is this more elaborate plot for Daniel Bryan to look like he's innocent? Mm-hmm. Or is Daniel Bryan turning face again?
I got 2 words for you.
Suck it?
Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh, my. Luke Harper's the other one planning this stuff?
I see Luke Harper getting with the Fiend.
Just possible. We're gonna talk about the Fiend, but
all right. But to go back to you, I'd say bigger picture. I think Daniel Bryan's behind the whole thing.
You think that is?
I think he's a mastermind. I think they're making, obviously with his new gimmick in the last year, they're turning Daniel Bryan. Him being a heel he's becoming more of a cerebral heel. Yeah. I think it's gonna be more of like a. Kind of when Seth Rollins is a heel, he's the architect. I think they're using Daniel Bryan's mind more.
I just wonder what.
So I think we need to start giving him more concussions. It's the only way to beat Daniel Bryan.
I just wonder what the. That's what it was. Speaking of concussions, New Japan had a show, the fucking Okada versus goddamn Suzuki. That was crazy.
I didn't see it.
Oh, so good. But anyway.
Was there a concussion?
No, but it's... Oh, well, Kenta got a concussion.
Kenta got hurt again?
Yeah.
Dude, this guy cannot get a break.
He can't get a break. But it apparently wasn't that bad. He might actually be working the next New Japan show.
Yeah, but
it's a lot of injuries.
What is it with this guy, man?
I don't know. Ever since he left Japan the first time, it's just been injury after injury after injury.
Fuck. Great wrestler. It's a shame.
Totally.
By the way, the Daniel Bryan, what I don't understand, remember when he's like, oh, I have a huge announcement?
Yeah, that never went anywhere.
What the fuck was the announcement?
Son, this is WWE. Everything is about, hey, we're going to build these things up. We have a plan. Then Vince McMahon changes his mind, then nothing happens.
That's why I never tell anybody when I have an announcement.
True enough. So it's like
this is why we get no announcements from you.
But look at how many storylines that were left.
They do.
Shelton Benjamin doing the weird smile and look off. That has not paid off at all. He's had 2 matches since then. They've not even mentioned that. Sasha Bailey, the original. Are they gonna fight? Are they not? They got in 2 backstage fights. That never culminated into a feud or match. That didn't go anywhere.
You never saw that kid defend the tag team title to Braun Strowman. That went nowhere.
Andrade and Ray were having all these matches. We never got a payoff to that, even though it seems like they're kind of going back to it. Now they got Dominic involved fully in the storyline. We'll see, but it's just like, there's plenty of stuff like that. Look at Asuka and fucking Kairi Sane. You don't even see them on TV most weeks. It's like, Asuka was the baddest bitch in WWE.
Yeah.
At one point.
She did nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. And all you sons of bitches told me, no, that was a great idea that Charlotte beat her. And I said, I fought you guys tooth and nail. I was like, that was the worst decision. She's not going to be special anymore. They're going to put her barrier, blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly what fucking happened.
Hey, Chris, how about you stop bragging that you was correct on one thing?
About all the things.
Not all the things.
All the fucking things.
No.
All the things.
You was correct on one thing.
The audience knows I'm usually right.
No.
Usually right.
Well, let's agree to disagree.
Hey, have it your way. But Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Rowan.
Burger King of the Ring.
I'm very much more intrigued now in this storyline and want to see where it goes.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. It's definitely the most compelling Roman Reigns story in a while.
For sure. But, that is not the most intriguing main event situation because there were rumors that, and we talked about it last week, that Bray Wyatt was challenging the winner of Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman at Clash of Champions for the Universal Championship. And we debated it back and forth. A lot of the fans were like, it's too soon. The Fiend shouldn't be involved in that sort of thing, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then we got a Firefly Funhouse this week, and goddamn it if Bray didn't make the fucking most of it. We got the return of the evil Vince McMahon puppet, who reprimanded him for getting involved in the main event in the title picture. And Bray counters by saying, but look what I've been making, and pulls out a bunch of dollar bills and proceeds to
$100 bills
and proceeds to feed them to the puppet, who is then satiated and then fucks off.
By the way, just not to interrupt you, guys, you have to subscribe to Patreon. We need money to buy one of these puppets.
Yeah, we
need a Vince McMahon puppet.
Certainly. Tony's not here this week, but we want to surprise him with one of those Vince McMahon puppets. So if you're not a Patreon subscriber, be one for the month. It's $5. You'll get all the fucking extra stuff that we do, all the extra commentaries that we did for pay-per-views. We're going to be adding more. We did King of the Ring and SummerSlam this month, and we're going to do more next month and the subsequent month. So do that. We got to buy a puppet for fucking Tony Hinchcliffe.
I get to see him sleeping with it.
Yeah, of course. No, it's going to go on his penis. You know that. Yeah, see? But yeah, God damn it. Can Bray, can he do no wrong right now?
No. I just think the company could do wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd keep him away from the title.
But it's official. He's
going
to challenge
for
you
in hell.
I don't know. I don't anything could happen with this character though.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I don't see anything regular happening with him.
Totally.
So him challenging him, like I don't.
Do you see him win it?
I don't see him losing the match.
You can't beat him yet, right?
But I kind of don't see him winning it yet.
Yeah, but what do they do? How do you book it?
He does something crazy and fucks up the champion. That's it. He doesn't win the belt.
What you do is he comes in wearing the mask and something happens and it knocks the mask off and he becomes just normal Bray Wyatt.
Ooh, a chink in the armor.
Or if
they learn how to but that can't happen yet either though.
But what if he makes the decision to heal instead of hurt? Maybe that's what you do. Like he decides.
Has he healed yet?
No.
Oh.
The Fiend.
So what does he take Does he take the hand and put it in his own mouth?
Maybe. That's some crazy shit. Remember when Mick Foley did that when he was in a submission hold and he gave himself the mandible claw so that he would pass out? That was the best. That was nonsensical, literally impossible, but fucking great.
By the way, also the Firefly Funhouse. What was great about was the squirrel came up with a sign that said "Help me."
Yeah.
And he just pushed it down.
I mean, everything about it. Him like apologizing to Finn Balor and then immediately moving on. Like just all this. He's just, man, he's absolutely killing it. Still the best thing in WWE. And that's saying something because the product has been so much better in the past couple months. And we'll see because apparently we're going to get the brand split's going to continue, but it's going to be a real one because now they're going to really take this whole, Heyman's thing is Raw and Bischoff's thing is SmackDown. Even though apparently Bischoff isn't writing SmackDown, he's just overseeing it. But rumors. Is he
going to do TV? He'll be on TV?
He was on TV at the reunion.
Yeah.
And remember, he invited the Kanellises to. There's another storyline that didn't go anywhere. Where the fuck have the Kanellises
I'm okay
been?
with that. It was an uncomfortable story.
Of course.
She's pregnant. She's at home taking care of her stomach.
Sure. Her stomach. Not her baby. Her stomach. So we'll see. Apparently, the rumors just came out right before we started recording, but apparently there's a draft planned for next month, and it's going to be a hard brand split after that. You're either Raw or you're SmackDown. None of this everybody's on every show thing. And Paul's going to have rule? No more wild card rule.
Come on, I like the wild card.
No one likes the wild card rule. They don't even mention that shit anymore. It's just everyone's just on both shows.
I'm going to be honest with you. Wild card rule, much better than Wild West.
Well,
I can't even say that
No,
word.
you can't even.
You can't say that at all. God damn it. Fuck
oh, Lord have mercy. But I'm excited, man. It's a fucking great time to be a fucking wrestling fan.
Yeah, it keeps getting better.
Yeah, and if you missed any of those shows, go back and watch them. They were all great. All Out was great. Raw was great. Takeover Cardiff was great. SmackDown was great. Fucking the Royal New Japan. It was Royal something or
Is
other.
that the one that was happening in Long Beach? Didn't they do that recently?
Yeah.
Was that last week?
I don't think it was in Long Beach. It was. I think it was. No, it was in the UK. It was in the UK. Because even the build up to that, you know how how Suzuki kept trying to get the Gotch pile driver. He's literally been trying to hit that move for a year, and every time he tries, someone reverses it. And so he was mad.
The Gotch pile driver, is that where they do this?
Yeah, and so he was trying to get into the G1. He wasn't in it this year, and he was pissed. So after Okada defended his title at the last pay-per-view, Suzuki ran in, jumped him, and then hit the Gotch pile driver. And that was the setup for their match this past weekend. And it's like, you could never get that storyline. You think they'd be patient for a whole year of one wrestler trying to hit a move he never does?
Right, yeah.
It's like, come on. That is good shit right there.
By the way, I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
I'm changing subjects, so
go ahead.
Talk about what you've.
No, I don't want to. I was going to change subjects too.
Okay. Perfect.
We didn't talk. Beginning of Raw, I fucking love this. AJ's so fucking good.
Oh, I was going to bring up something about AJ. That's
AJ
funny.
coming in during this contract signing was fucking great, and then Braun throwing the table and
at AJ
in the face with
it
was great.
They've given the club their edge back.
Yeah.
Like it was because I had some reservations about them losing the title so quickly. But they've remained relevant. They're playing a perfect foil to Braun and AJ and Seth, and then even the inclusion of Dolph and Bobby Roode. You know what I mean? Has been good. So
I have one issue with the club. I believe it's Gallows.
Yeah,
I believe with the face paint.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it looks
the face paint.
It looks better.
I don't
way
know.
better than
like
he did.
it.
Yeah,
It looks like that tag team that didn't do anything.
Ascension.
Yeah,
no,
Ascension.
but
It reminds me of that.
No.
That's what he wore in Japan. It looks way better to me.
Okay,
than,
did he?
Yeah.
It
looks way better to me than those fucking Diesel pants that he had on that I hated from day one.
Diesel, like the
Kevin Nash.
Yeah, like Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash Diesel.
Just let the OC's good. They suffer from the WWE thing though of we gotta say our catchphrase every time you see us. The original, the only. It's like, okay, we don't need that. Just like Randy Orton now, every time. The most devastating letters in sports. It's like no one speaks that way. Stop.
It's called branding.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
But everything else, keep it up. It's a great time to be alive, guys. Great time to be a wrestling fan. And speaking of which, man, God, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, we're going to have a major announcement really soon.
Oh, God, guys.
Major announcement.
I'll break it right now. I'm leaving the podcast, guys. Huge announcement, guys.
But
I'm not wanted.
If things don't go right, then it'll go the way of WWE, and you'll never find out what that was. So just stay tuned.
Yeah.
Matt, how about in the meantime? Where can I find you?
Atlantic City Comedy Club on September 12th. Then next 2 days, the 13th and the 14th, I'm at Philly Comedy Club. And then from there on, I'm in New York City. So I'll be up and down that island.
Love it.
Oh, promo code Edgar for those shows. Please give me some extra money.
Josh.
Next Saturday, I'm in Portland, Oregon with Pauly Shore at the Star Theater. And I'll be at the Comic-Con going on that entire week.
Lovely.
So you'll see me taking pictures and geeking out.
There you
go. Because there's a lot of people I really like at this Comic-Con.
There you go. Follow me at Chris_please on the socials. Follow us at Store Horsemen. Like I said, join that Patreon for $5. Or if you want to give more, there's different tiers for different things. Also, we haven't talked about it in a while, but keep giving us those 5-star reviews on fucking Apple Podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Those actually do a whole lot for us. And never forget, Store Horsemen are your hookup. Holler if you hear us. See you next time.